Hello, and welcome everybody. Welcome to this one. As you can see, Spec 170 points. He can clinch the title today. A lot of you are actually cheering for Rockefeller Racing, so hopefully the man from R can do you proud tonight. Little Mac and Becwa from BDRT are equal on 108, so they've got a little bit to fight for too. Still a few races to go, so it's not all over for them yet, but Spec 1, if he takes a win, he can take the championship tonight. The racing should be ready to go in just a second. But yes, we are here at Le Mans, round 8 of the SFR GT Challenge Pro Division race. This should be very exciting. CK in the Z4, 97 points. Death Scythe, 82. Magic Man, 80. Stag was 78. It's pretty close at the top. There's not a lot separating everybody. It's not until you get to about 2 rare where the gap becomes a little bit too big for them to fight higher up. But, you know, a good result from any of them could change things. Let's get into it. This is the race, the final racing here. This is round 8. My name's Josh Gain. Welcome along. And I'm feeling a lot better this week. Thank you, Kyle. A lot better. Here we go. Little Mac on the front row with Spec 1. 305, the Flying Dutchman. He's up there in 3rd place. Let's see what he can put together today. Waiting for the lights to go green here at Le Mans for this Gran Turismo Sport race for the SFR, and it's underway, and there's a few up the back. I think Becwa got a really slow start. I don't know if he's just been bogged down, but everybody's free and racing with Little Mac and Spec 1 dueling it up into the first corners they go. Legacy's gone wide from PREC, 2 rare, a little bit wide. Look at these guys squeezing through, absolutely no room at all, and somehow 2 rares come out ahead of that pretty well. As we come down, Death Scythe leads this little backpack of cars. There's Gabbo in 10th place. Sebestro coming around as well. There's Becwa right at the back. He was bogged down at the start, and he had a lot of issues. This is Little Mac, though, leading the field. Spec 1 right inside the slipstream. 305 has kept it clean as well, so it's so good to see him up high up the order. Magic Man as well, 4th place. Legacy 5th, 2 rare in 6th. The drivers now just slipstreaming each other, and it's going to be a battle of the overtakes, the late breakers, down this first part of the track. Here we go, Hoodie, side by side with Becwa there. He's got a new livery tonight. Oh, we've had someone off. It was Sebestro from the Black Dragon Racing team. I don't know what happened to him, but he was up into the first chicane. Little Mac, though, still leads. Spec 1 just sitting tight in behind. He's not in a hurry at the moment. 15 laps. It's a long time here at Le Mans. It's a long lap. Remember, 3/10, 2/10 the gap at the moment. Where's 305 just in with his teammate Magic Man. So Rockefeller got 3 boys in the top 4. That is representing hardcore. Legacy from PREC, he's in the lead of the next group. 2 rares just tucked in behind him, with Nataku and Death Scythe giving chase. 2 rares got it up around the outside, and the inside for the next turn. Legacy's been pushed wide. Oh, he's just collected it there. He was lucky. He didn't force the issue too much, and he's just recovered well. Koto, thank you, Kermith. Good to have you along, brah. Good to have you along indeed. And thank you for hitting the like button. And appreciate everyone that does that. Helps us out. It helps us out huge time. So everyone that does that every week, thank you. Becwa and Koto, though, can't figure it out here, but Becwa's chucked back in front of him, and the Audi man just has to give chase. Little Mac still leads from Spec 1, so Little Mac's on a huge charge today. So it's the battle of the AMG Mercedes. Magic Man pushed along 305 here. He's had a really good start to this one. 2 res with him as well. Thank you. And it's good to have you along again too, bro. Representing the Rivera fam, as you did the other week. Everybody from the Rivera fam that time was hitting the like button. Good to have you back, and And Magic Man, he's had a clean one, had a clean start. He'll be very happy with the way things have worked out for him today in the Camo Lexus. Death Scythe and Nataku. Oh, who's done that? El McNulty. You deserve it, mate. Got the stream on the TV. Good luck, Team Rockefeller. Thank you very much, El, with the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate the mad support there. It blows me away that you guys do that every week. Death Scythe out wide, out of the last turn. He's going to lose a lot of positions down the front pit straight. And you just see Gabbo trying to get around DNA Stag in the AMG. I think he used to do a Viper, I can't remember. Death Scythe back into it though with the Audi, and Legacy is just defending the position well as we go up towards the Dunlop overpass. Spec 1 though still leads this one. Let's have a look at the start, because I want to see what happened to Beckwar. Yeah, here he is in the moment in the Beetle. He's just stuck in behind 11th place J-Rod. So J-Rod's doing really well today in that Porsche. It's good to see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happened at the start for Beckwar. Everybody got underway. Oh, it was a jump start. That's what it was. Jump start for Beckwar. And that's why he was left high and dry on that lane. And as we come up, it was a very, very tight quarters for everyone. There's 2 ret. Oh, there was some damage and punting going on. Hoodie got caught up in it as well. And yeah, 2 ret just got punted so far forward. That's why he's been so successful, I think, around the outside of Nataku. Crazy start to this one. Here he is up in 6th place. These guys still sharing the same space of road, and there's no love lost between them at the moment. Good to see 305 with his best start all season. He is. Dion is doing pretty well. Up the front though, it has changed positions. Spec 1 has taken the lead. And if he finishes there today, remember, he takes this championship in the Pro Division. But Little Mac is giving him all of it to fight for. And he's not laying down. The man in the camo AMG. And there's his brother-in-arms, Magic Man, giving chase. It's both 305 with him. They can push each other along using the bump draft technique. So I'm sure that's what they're doing. 305's on a good start. It's everybody's sort of paired off at the moment. There's 2 around Nataku, so they need to work together now to catch those front pair. They're not too far away, but without the use of a slipstream. Bit of a tag there from Nataku. And 2 wrestles the car and gets it back. He maintains the lead over the Black Dragon racer. DNA Stag, the front of this trio. And Gabbo. Everything's quite clean and calm at the moment. Everybody's settling in. And let's get through. We'll have to get through the strategy being used in just a second. Yeah, Rocky saying 305 and Magic need to work together as the Jag is much faster than the Lexus. There's a yellow in the sector. Oh, there's been an issue up the front there with... It was Nataku, wasn't it? Where is Nataku falling down the order? It's Spec 1, then it's Little Mac, Magic Man, 2 rare. These 3. There's Beckwar. think he's fallen way off. Nataku's down in 14th position. Let's have a look. I don't know what happened to him. Right on board with the man. Oscar Muss. Oh, what was that? Oh, he's taken out 305 at the same time. This is huge for this race. Huge moment. And 305 off into the gravel. And I think Nataku was trying to readdress the situation, hence he was waiting for so long. That's a big moment. This was Nataku. He was catching these three. This is the replay from the outside. I think he went for a bit of an overtake. He saw the room up the inside. Oh, and he's tagged 305 on the way through. And it has caused a huge collision. And we know the rest of the story. There is 305. He was looking so good at the start of this one. He's now in plumb last. Little Mac, he's managed to gain a 4-second lead over Spec 1. So the Rockefeller boys now, they've got to work together. He's got Magic Man with him, so it's not going to be an impossible task, but that's very interesting. Lots of drama here early on lap 3. Big implications for the championship early on. DNA Stag is still comfortably leading this trio. Hoodie's got the pack in front of this one, and he's catching up in the Viper. He's got that top end speed. Rocky, the team captain, not happy. It's the way motorsport goes sometimes. It's happened to the best. He'll find form again eventually. He just can't catch a break this season. It's been one after the other for 305. So as we go through the order, hopefully those windscreen wipers aren't slowing Hoodie down. Bekwa, Kotobori, something like that. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. Deathscythe in 12th, and now the two BDRT boys, Nataku and Silvestro, they've got to work together. And then it's 305, the Flying Dutchman, caught out at the Porsche curves in a huge incident. Now trying to see what happened with Little Mac and Spec 1 lap ago, because as you can see, Spec 1 was leading, and then as we come down that front straight, Spec 1 was 4 seconds in behind, so very interesting to see. So at the end of that lap, Spec 1 was on a flyer, an absolute flyer, gaining time over Little Mac, and we're trying to figure out what exactly happened to Spec 1. As we ride on board with the man who would have seen it all happen, Little Mac, let's see how they got through this first part of the lap. Oh, close to the gravel trap there was Spec. So you see he's already pushing it hard and on the exact limit of the track. He's searching for time here, Spec 1 early on. He's got to be careful about doing that. As we come up to this set of S's, Spec's got it nicely sorted under the Dunlop bridge. In control. It must have been an issue down at the first chicane. I can't see anything other than that happening. No penalties through there. Little Mac pushing a little hard. He went a little wide, and you can see he did catch a bit of time on Spec 1. Spec 1 is a little bit more cautious. Wow, look at the extra speed he was catching through there. Whoa. Like Spec 1 had issues. It was like he had issues. He was standing still compared to what Little Mac was doing. That's where the time was lost. Or is he playing the team game and getting Magic Man back into this one? That could be what's happening. We'll keep an eye on it. He's still with Magic Man here. As you can see, they're going to catch the two in front. Alrighty, let's get you an update with the tyre compounds. It is soft tyres for Little Mac. It is also soft for Magic and Spec 1. 2 rare the same, so the Rockefeller boys all on the quicker compound to start. It is mediums for Gabbo. Mediums for Beckwar. Mediums for Hoodie. And look at this. Koto's coming through. The PREC boys, they're there on attack in formation. That was a little bit messy from Hoodie, but he cleaned it up in the end. Legacy's just managed to get through. J-Rod's down in 9th place. And they were a lot closer than that. And Death Scythe and Natako, they're gonna make a mark on this race because they're catching them too. So Legacy mediums. Softs for J-Rod. Koto's gone, mediums too. Death Scythe, mediums. Bestro's mediums, and I missed one. Natako's on the softs. And Stag, softs. 305 softs, so there we go. We've got about a quarter of the field starting on the harder compound. 305, can't catch a break. He's got no one with him too, so this is going to be a hard task, but maybe he can get back up inside Stag Slipstream and do something with it. Little Mac running away with this one, 4.2 seconds, but it is Magic and Spec 1 who've partnered up here. And as someone said it before, 2 Rockefeller better than 1. I did see that in the chat, someone did say that, but you're right. And Spec 1 can push Magic and propel him into the top flight. Let's see what happens. Everybody giving 305, or Rocky telling 305 not to give up. Rusty commenting and saying that Rockefeller are running strategy by the book. Magic Man and Spec spent a lot of time on track together this week from Kyle, so they're going to know each other's weaknesses and strengths fairly well, I'd say. This is 2 rare. He's from Rockefeller Racing 2. He's in the Mustang and he's doing really well up into 4th. Gabbo, he's managed to clear the rest of the guys. This is where it gets a little bit tasty though, when you got Beckwar and Legacy all vying for those top spots. J-Rod's just backed off a little. Yeah, Kyle, then they're gonna catch Little Mac, and then when they do catch him, Magic and Spec are gonna just fly on by. Well, here we go. Beckwar comes into the pit lane, along with all the medium runners coming in after 4 laps. Nataku's come in on the softs as well. Very interesting choice from Nataku. What is he going to do? A little bit of fuel, a little bit of tyres. You can see soft tyres for everybody on the mediums. Woody's still stuck in the pits with his with Nataku. Nataku on the mediums now. He's got a full tank. Woody's out. He's lost a lot of time there. I don't know why it was such a slow pit stop for Hoodie, but he's in 15th. Little back, 4.5 seconds, 4.4. So keep an eye on that interval. Oh, Slidey. He can't have that up by himself because these guys are going to be stronger in numbers. And with the 2 of them, it's going to be a hard task to stay ahead driving just like that. Yeah, 2 round on a fantastic run. Death Scythe and J-Rod, they're 5th and 6th. It's getting very busy down the midfield. Everybody now just inside the slipstream of each other. Some of these guys will work together. Magic Man and Spec 1. They are veterans, that's why they're running the special camo liveries. But Magic Man's asked me to shout out his real life sponsor, Hope Driven, and they've got a little spiel here. It says, "You may find yourself asking, what does Hope Driven mean? To us, Hope Driven encapsulates our vision and our mission. To us, our platform within the car community to help children in need. Essentially, we are driven to help children and their families find hope in their darkest moments and most difficult of times as a unit." And talking of acting as a unit, Magic and Spec 1, they're doing just that. The buddy system in the military, I'm sure they're very aware of it. And any other veterans out there, you've definitely heard that word. And that's what they're working on. They're working on the buddy system. 2 and 3 at the moment. Look at that, 3.5 seconds. They've gained a second over Little Mac. He's going to catch them in just a short while. So Little Mac, he's got a little bit of running to do. He needs to pick up the pace, but it's going to be very hard. Yeah, it was definitely a strategy call, Rocky. I'm with that. He was almost standing still down that straight when we saw him get caught, but it has to be that he's playing the team game and catching Magic Man back into this one. Here we go. Look at this. Look at the action down from 7th, though. It is very, very heated up with Sebestro, Gabo, Koto, Bekwa. That's just 4 of them. The rest of them are just giving chase. There's Legacy. There's J-Mag, I think, down the back. Gabo having a bit of a dig. He tries to show the nose. The front men are in on the soft tyre. Magic and Spec. Look how much fuel Spec saved. I mean, that's only what? 8, 3, 4, 5%. But, 5% can be the difference between coming through the last corner and not making that last corner. Yeah, Little Mac will be wasting a hell of a lot of fuel. Let's see what his fuel situation is like when we get back in and see him come in soon. J-Rod's in on 46. So you can see the guys racing with other guys around them, saving a little bit of fuel. Sebestro gets caught out on the last corner. Gabo gets on the power hard. And the man from BDRT is on the back foot now. There's a lot of drivers around him though, so he won't get caught out for too long. These guys going full send. J-Rod comes out in 12th. Hoody's just gone around him. 305's in the pit lane. And he's gone to the medium, and you could see his fuel situation was a little bit dire too, because he was caught out in that accident. Thank you, Josh. Now 2 Rare, he's caught up to these guys. So the Rockefeller guys are now a duo turned to a trio. And he's playing the team game here. This could work out very well for Rockefeller Racing. This could get them a 1, 2, and 3 actually. Little Mac, he's all alone up the front. He does have a huge lead, but remember, everybody's gone inside the pit lane that lap. Sorry, I keep hitting that button. Let's have a look. Look at his fuel, look at his tyres. His last lap was 4 minutes flat. 2 Rare. His fuel and tyres, you can see he's been caught out a little bit. His last lap was a 4:03. But if these teammates can work together here, they might be able to push him in. Remember that's a in lap, 4:15 in lap. So mediums for Spec. And Magic Man 2, I suspect, yes. Yes, they did just pit. So back up to this little action-packed field of cars. Gabo leads. Koto's managed to push his way forward slightly. He's got Legacy's teammate with him. Becquart's fallen down a little bit in the Volkswagen. As we look out behind Legacy, you can see the gap he's got. And this is what's happening in front of them. Koto going for a bit of a move around the outside of Gabbo. The slipstream working for him, up into 6th place. Here comes Legacy. Gabbo needs to look out. Onto the brakes. He's trying to slip it up the inside. But a good little bit of racing there. PREC, they're on for a good finish if they can convert it from here. They'll be very happy with the way things have turned out so far. Well, they're just holding on through here. Little Mac's gone into the pit lane. And he's fallen down the order as the Rockefeller boys have come through. Two-Res darted into the pit lane as well. Little Mac, he's come out on softs, I think. He's just ahead of Spec 1 and Magic Man as you'd expect. But the gap has dropped. 2.7, that's a lot of time those guys have made up, and they're on medium tyres too, I think. So Little Mac, what tyres did he pick? He picked softs. Alrighty. He's going to be on the slower tyres now when Spec and Magic are on the much faster soft compound, because Little Mac needs to run a medium compound stint, remember. So that could catch him out here. And I only say that because they're running in pair here, and that's going to be really hard to overcome. Koto leads, Gabbo chasing. Through Beau Rivage and Tetra Rouge nicely. And now they just sit inside the slipstream. Will anybody make an overtake? It's a bit of an easy race. Easy ride for some of them today. There's a little bit to think about. Here comes Legacy. He's going to push his teammate and catapult him a little bit further forward. Gabbo gets punted out of the way. And it's now PREC 4th and 5th. And Gabbo from TPRT, he's got a little bit to work on now. Yeah, I think Little Mac taking softs is going to be a bad move there. I just don't think it's going to work out for him. Look at this. Legacy and Koto, they need to work together here. Looks like Legacy's got a little bit of the pace. He's not going to be pushing his teammate forward here. Gabbo though, what's he going to do? As we come up to the Mulsanne corner, no, he's sticking. He's just staying away from the bump drafting there. Almost caught out Koto. He just pulled it in and managed to make the right-hand turn there. So the Audi, he's wrestled it, but it's not without its issues. There's the bump drafting going on there. So Gabbo is partial to a bit of that action. Comes past Becquardt, he says thank you very much. And Becquardt now slots in 6th place. Oh, big moment for Koto on the brakes. It's caused a huge accident. Huge accident. Legacy will get away from it. Gabbo's recovered. But the likes of Koto and Becquardt really hurted from that one. And it all happened from Koto just chucking his brakes on and losing control under pace. Have a look. It was looking really good for them. They were all comfortably just in a line. settling in. And Koto lost full control, slid it sideways. Oh, and it's chucked Beckwar up against the corner. And I think Gabbo got a little bit of a punt in there. And Two-Res like, thank you, I'll take that. He's up into 6th. So that's a good win for Two-Res. So Stag now. Just with Koto. Two-Res got forward. Gabbo was dropped off from Legacy slightly. Legacy in a pretty quick car. Legacy 358 that lap. That's a quick lap in the Jag. So keep an eye on that. Little Mac though, 4.4 seconds now. 0. Gelson and Kermith all surprised at what happened there. It was very surprising, wasn't it? With what happened with Beckwar and Koto. Not good. Here's Magic and Spec. 4.8 seconds, the gap. They need to get a hustle on, I think, though, because we are about halfway through. And Little Mac, I do forget, they're on the medium tyre. That's what the bump draft looks like in action. So Legacy holds his own now in 4th place. 18 seconds between him and Spec. Two-Res wants to tag on the back end of that one and get inside the slipstream. Koto's recovered, and so's DNA Stag. Beckwar, he'll have his teammate with him now, Death Scythe. So the Black Dragon Racing crew have had a bit of strife early on today. They've been involved in almost all of the incidents. There's a yellow flag. Oh, it's Koto again. He just doesn't seem to be able to control that car. Under braking very well. The Audi seems to be, he's just wrestling it here. J-Rod now up beside him. Jeff Wills. Welcome along, Jeff. Good to have you along. Some practice needed for Koto in that Audi. I'm sure he drives it a lot, but it just seems at these high speeds he's just really struggling. Let's see what happened. Coming into the chicane. Was there help? No, he just couldn't get it stopped in time. Stag almost followed him through, and he just had to wait. So there he is, down in 11th now. And he's a long way from his PREC teammates. Hoodie. Oh, chucks it side by side. Oh, and Koto gets caught out again. 305. Comes around the corner as well. Hoodie readdressed that one, so that was a good bit of sportsmanship there. Up the front, 4.9 seconds. So he is gaining a bit of time. He needs to gain as much time as he possibly can now, because Magic and Spec have gone the medium tyre stint. Last lap from Magic Man, 3:59. Spec 1, giving chase. This is Little Mac. He did a 3:55, so that's a huge amount of difference in time. That's why Little Mac is gaining time on them here. He's just on the run. He needs to gain all the time he possibly can. So Magic and Spec, they're in after 4 laps. That's what we've seen today. 4 laps on the mediums. Look at Magic's fuel again compared to Spec. So they're in from 2nd and 3rd. El McNulty saying the R8 is not easy to drive, so hats off to Koto there, taking it for a spin. I wouldn't know. I only ever drive the 458. And the Group 3458 at the moment isn't the easiest car to drive now. I don't know what they've done to it. Anyway, Spec 1. He actually jumped Magic there in the pit lane, and Two gets caught back up with his teammates once again. So they can all work together. 2 turns to 3, as it does so many times once they come out of the pit lane. Legacy's inherited 2nd place, while Gabbo's taken 3rd. That will change. And Little Mac is on charge. He needs to gain time and gain as much time as he can. Desaith is by himself. J-Rod in 8th place. He's doing a good job today. Hoodie from DNA. He's trying to push that Viper hard. I think those windscreen wipers are slowing him down though, unfortunately. Sebastro in 11th. There's Stag from DNA. BDRT Nataku, the captain, in 12th place. Koto in 13th. Just going to try and recover from here. This is 305. 432 last lap. He must have had an in-lap. Yeah, look at that. New soft tyres, full tank of fuel. So he's good to go to the end. Well, not near the end, but until his next stop anyway. We did lose one. I'm trying to think. Who was the driver we've lost? Because there's only 14 now, not 15. And Little Mac, though, still leads. So things are getting quite comfortable now as we get into about the halfway stint of this race. Oh, Legacy. No, that's a bit of lag. That looked a little bit worse than I think it was. I thought he'd overcooked it there, but he's recovered. It is the story of the teammates, though. Can Magic Man and Spec One do it today? That is the question everybody's going to be asking. Has Little Mac made enough time to stay ahead? Or have these two done enough to take the lead? We're about to find out very shortly, because Little Mac will need to make a pit stop soon. It'll probably be this lap, because they're just off sync by 1 lap. If we're going by past history of pit stops. Let's see what Little Mac does. Needs to keep it clean through here. The gap, 27 seconds. So there's no pressure. But he does need to keep it quick. And it needs to be a good pit stop. No, he's going to go another lap. Let's have a look at his fuel situation. He's good with fuel. His tyres are good, obviously, so he can run the tyres a lot longer. I think he's going to end on the medium tyre here, so... Yeah, Little Mac. It's a gamble, but will it pay off? This is Legacy. You can see he's got no fuel left in that tank. Gabbo watches everything happen in front of him. He's got enough fuel, though, to do another lap. Spec One comes through. Oh, no. I don't know why, but Magic has dropped off the pace. Spec One's turned it up. I don't know if he's been released by Magic. And Magic's job now is to get Two Rare back into this one. Then Spec One, he's going to chase the leader. That must be what's happening. Very interesting. We didn't quite see the exchange where that happened, or if there was an accident by somebody. But Spec One is way up the road. So very interesting. Spec One was playing the team game, but now his job, he's been released. He's detached, and he's now chasing down Little Mac up front. First he'll catch Gabbo, though. This is a very interesting move for strategy here. So Zero doing the math and saying Little Mac got a good lead. He can get in and out without no issues. That's true. Little Mac got a push. 29 seconds now. So maybe that gap's getting too big and unmanageable for the guys from Rockefeller. So Spec 1 has been ordered to take him down. I don't know, Kyle. I don't know what happened to Magic. Don't know what happened to Too Rare. I don't know if there was an accident. The Magic Man was left behind. Or Spec 1 just picked up the pace. But very interesting indeed. So the two Rockefeller boys now, they're 4th and 5th. Too Rare needs to keep it clean though. This Magic Man's got himself some goo flaps, you'd call them around here. You're right. Little Mac does need to fuel, but I think Zero's done the math that Little Mac could get in and out of the pits with fuel and still have the lead. It is going to be very interesting when we see the front runner take to the pit lane. It's quite busy now. Down 4th, 5th and 6th. Michael Stankowski, thank you for following us. And welcome along. Hopefully we can entertain you here. A demo 1 with some of the eSports racing. This one is the SFR GT Challenge. Pro Division, round 8 at Le Mans. I'm just waiting to see what happens to this man, Little Mac, who's got the lead of this race. It seems to be in the bag, but he needs to come in and take a medium tyre. That will slow him down, and he will probably need almost full tank of fuel to get him to the end of this race. We're waiting to see when he takes to the pit lane. It'll be very shortly, I'd imagine. It'll be, I'd imagine, after this lap. I reckon he's got one more lap in him, and Little Mac will probably come in. Depends what his time is like. His last lap, guys, was a 3:58. Let's see what his new lap time's like. A 3:59, so he is slowing down. So Little Mac will be aware of that. He'll be hyper aware of that happening, actually. He'll be seeing the times pop up on his screen that he's slower than last lap. So he'll want to get a push on. Gabbo's come in from 2nd place, and he's having a good race. Let's see what he does from here. Magic Man and Spec 1, they ride on through. Too Rare's in with the medium tyre. Gabbo sitting still now for a long time, taking fuel. Too Rare doing exactly the same thing in behind him. And he's been released. Soft tyres, it looks like. He'll come out. This could be a good one for Gabbo. Come out in 5th place. He'll be very happy with the way that's worked for him. Now his Legacy. Legacy's lagging a little bit. He does say 14th, but I can't imagine he's down dead last. He was doing pretty well before. But it does say blue flag on his screen. We'll keep an eye on that one. That's odd. I think it's just the lag causing issues with Legacy. Oh, it's going to be very exciting, Kyle, with the Rockefeller boys on the soft tyre and Little Mac finishing on the slower medium compound. Luis Angel Colon has liked the stream. Thank you very much. Good to have you along, brother. Hope you're enjoying this one. This one's going to be very exciting at the end. Oh, Sebastio overcooks it at the first chicane. He needs to be careful and keep it clean through here. J-Rod from Full Attack, he's doing a good job today. He'll be very pleased with the job he's done. Too Rare in 8th place. He's giving chase. Stag, DNA Stag. And then in behind him is Hoodie. And Axel, one of the mad lads. He sent 250 stars on Facebook. Thank you very much, Axel. Champion, brother. Thank you so much, guys, for the guys that have done that today. Earl and Axel. Hopefully you're enjoying this race. It's going to be an exciting finish, so don't go anywhere. Brother R has followed on Twitch. Welcome to the Twitch family. I've got over 100 followers on Twitch now. Didn't ever expect that to happen. But you can watch anywhere you like. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Mixer. So, yeah, pick your favourite platform and watch it from there. Little Mac leads 31 seconds. He's gained a bit of time at the front of the race. Spec One's giving chase. And this is the lap we're expecting Little Mac to come in. Unless he runs the softs a little bit longer, but he'll be really pushing it. And that could hurt him come the end of this one. Is he going to go for the 4 lap mediums? He will. That's what everyone else has done today. And here we go. This is about to decide the race in the final 4 laps. This is Spec One. He's just coming through the Porsche curves now. You'll get 305 in the interview if you want, Rocky. This is not an issue. Don't forget, we will have interviews at the end. Kermit Legacy might be the one that's out. We'll have a look in a minute. Spec One, he's coming around. So Little Mac's taking the medium tyre. He's come out ahead by 4.85 seconds. Actually, I think Little Mac's managed, obviously, to gain a bit of time when he was on the soft compound. So Spec One needs a really good run from here. But don't forget, Little Mac medium, Spec One soft. There's going to be a huge difference in their race lap times now. With 4 laps, that could be 4 seconds, maybe more. Keep an eye on this one. So we'll get back to this one in just a moment. There's Natako in 14th. J-Rod's come in on the mediums. Sebastro doing the same. 305 up to 11th now. He's doing all right. He's just in behind Kotu from PREC. Sebastro comes out. He'll come out in front of those two. Just got the lead on them. And it's getting very, very antsy in behind him as 305 wants to recover. He had a really good start to this one. And now he wants to try and finish inside that top 10. And he's definitely within striking distance of doing that. Yeah, Legacy. I'm looking for Legacy. Hoodie, Stag. 2 Rare, Death Scythe, Gabbo. Legacy's 4th. So the lag was pushing him at the back of the grid. I don't know why it was doing that. But yes, he's 4th place. There's Magic Man by himself in 3rd. Because Spec One's giving chase to Little Mac. The gap, 6.5 seconds. He needs to gain a little bit more time than that, though. Interesting. Stag gets around Hoodie there. And the race is on between them. AMG and the Viper, 2 very quick cars. Hoodie with the bump draft going on. They might be able to catch 2 Ram, possibly. They'll have to work together very well to do that and just have a flawless run to the end. Into the second chicane. Everything's nice and clean. This is how he's done the overtake before, though. Apparently they'd already done it. Maybe it was the angle. It looked like Stag got an overtake on Hoodie. Coming up to the Mulsanne corner they go. There could be a little bit of a late dive from the Viper. Looks like Hoodie's just going to sit in his slipstream, though. He's enjoying the ride along with Stag and the AMG. He's got quite a lot of pull, and they've both got through there cleanly. Sebastro and Koto, these two having a bit of a scrap now towards the end. 305's trying to tag onto the back of it. He's just out of reach too, so 305 desperately seeking a bit of a slipstream as those two in front of him punch through the air. He wants to get inside the advantage. Koto might have a dig up the inside here. He will. The PREC boy having a go. The Black Dragon Racing team of Silvestro. He's left wanting on the outside, so he just ducks back in behind. And the guy in the Honda chasing down 10th place now. This one's a hotly contested position. Top 10. That's where you want to be. 13 seconds. I don't know if Spec 1's had an issue, because that's a huge lead. Little Max gained that lap. Let's have a look at the lap time. 3:57 and then a 4:05. Little Mac did a 3:56. Yeah, something's happened that lap to Spec 1. Can we see what happened to Spec 1 at all? This lap was a 3:57 lap. The lap before, he was looking good. Don't know if there's been an issue somewhere, because Spec 1's lost too much time. And you could, I think that was Little Mac. You could see just hitting the Mulsanne corner there. There was just a little shadow just ahead of him. And we're just going to ride on board with Spec 1 on his last lap to see, was there an issue somewhere? Zero was saying these soft tyres are a few laps old. Little Mac needs to make the Spec 1 push and overcook his tyres, and it's an easy win. I think he's done it. Little Mac putting together a clean, fast race. Now all he has to do is bring it home. You're not wrong. Into Indianapolis. Everything was looking clean. Now, for Spec 1. Oh, was it? No, it wasn't there. Oh, it was at Indianapolis. That's where it all went wrong. Oh, that's so easy to do there too. So easy to do. And now it's all up in the air. I don't think Spec 1 can get it back unless Little Mac makes a mistake. I don't think he's going to though. He's got so much time in hand now. 13.2 seconds. It just seems like it's out of reach. Magic does have Legacy just off the bow of that Lexus. And Legacy might have a late steal of that last podium spot. So keep an eye on this one, fellas. Magic Man, he's a Lone Ranger right now, and Legacy, he's popped out of nowhere, and could upset the second and third place that Rockefeller guys have worked so hard to get. This one is not over yet by any chance. Yeah, Bill Bader did almost the same thing last week, you're not wrong. Now the gap between Magic and Legacy, 2.2 seconds, and he's gaining every second, because that Jag has a very quick top end. Indianapolis Legacy just needs to keep it clean. This is where we've seen some of the guys, some of the very talented top guys, mix it up. Legacy's got it all worked out here. Gabo's not too far off either, so this could become a three-way fight for third if they can catch Magic Man in the next lap. All too rare, almost the same thing there. Stag keeps it clean, and Hoodie's still stuck in behind Stag at the moment. So Hoodie should get a bit of a slipstream here unless he's going to go for the bump draft move, which it looks like he's doing. That pushes along DNA Stag a little bit, and Hoodie might be waiting for that last lap to get the overtake. So they'll keep it clean through here for now. Silvestro He's managed to stay ahead of 305. Wonder if Koto's had some issues because he's now back down with the bottom order guys, Ritako and J-Rod. Koto seems to be struggling with the R8 today. It's not an easy car to drive by reports. So he'll just need to get a bit more time under his belt, I think, and come back. But it's a good little battle here for 12th. These guys aren't giving it up at all. Koto, though, I would say is the fastest of them all. He just needs to keep it clean. Zaku on the Lexus. Oh, braking hard. I thought he was going to go for a dive. J-Rod sticking with them. Little Mac leads 16 seconds. Big lead. 1 lap to go. We're on the penultimate lap, fellas. And it doesn't look like Spec 1's going to upset the party. This is where he is. 16 seconds behind. Magic Man is in third. And look, Legacy's getting ever closer now. 1.9 the gap. So Legacy is getting closer and closer and closer. And Gabbo is also closing in on Legacy. So it could be a battle for 4th if Gabbo slows down Legacy here in his charge. Unless Gabbo gets onto the back of Legacy, pushes him forward, and catapults him into Magic Man's slipstream because he's just outside it now with the 2.2 second gap. This is getting very interesting now for the battle for 3rd. Gabbo's got some pace. In they go to the 2nd chicane. Need to have a clean exit. Now they've got a lap to work together. Are they going to do that, or are they just going to battle for 4th? 1.8. They're a lot quicker. They're catching cars. Spec 1's dropped back, probably to defend Magic Man. He's let Magic Man go, so Spec 1 doesn't want to win the championship here today. He's going to play the team game, and he's now going to be a bit of a buffer. And he's going to let Magic Man go. Interesting team play here. Legacy and Gabbo side by side now. This one has just turned it up to 10. Spec 1's dropped back to help his teammate just at the right time, because on this last lap, Legacy and Gabbo are coming for him. And Spec 1's the rear gunner now. He's going to be fighting off any attack from these two. So what do Legacy and Gabbo do? Do they keep fighting forward now? Because Spec 1 dropping back, it's effectively dropped them inside the slipstream range. And they could go for a move here. They're not going to let up. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. This one's just got very exciting. We mustn't forget Little Mac up the front. He's had a flawless race today and he totally deserves this win. But this one, for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, it is not over yet. We're coming into the last lap. Spec 1 knows he's got a huge lead in the championship. So he's playing the team game today. And look at this, he's managed to hold off Legacy and Gabbo. He needs to do one more lap of this. It's a long lap, almost 4 minutes. It's going to be an eternity for Spec 1. Legacy and Gabbo, though, they'll be licking their lips at the opportunity. Will they get the overtake, or won't they? Let's answer that question now. Last lap here in the SFR GT Challenge Round 8. And it is Little Mac, Magic Man and Spec 1, but don't count out Legacy or Gabbo just yet. Spec 1's pushing Magic Man forward. Spec 1's got so much speed and confidence through this Le Mans track. He's actually propelling Magic Man forward. This is what the chase looks like. On board with Spec 1. Up through. There's the Hope Driven logo. They're on back of Magic Man's car. We were talking about them before. And let's see if he can do his sponsor proud. Magic Man in there with him too. These two boys. Oh, here comes Legacy. Legacy has gone up beside them and stolen 2 positions. Spec One was doing the best he could with the bump drafting. Legacy's jumped the corner there. Here we go, Legacy side by side with them. He'll be getting a little bit of a side draft, which will help him slightly. But I think Magic Man and Spec, they've just got him back in ahead. I think Spec One wasn't too concerned. But God, that Jack's got some top end, doesn't it? It was coming past them at a rate of knots. And the Rockefeller boys had help. Spec One goes wide, comes back in. He tags Legacy, gets the elbows out, but that could be the mistake. That hurts the 2 Rockefeller boys here. It's been a huge show of integrity. And Legacy, it's going to get a little bit desperate towards the end. This one is a nail biter. Here goes Legacy, past Magic Man. Into Mulsanne corner. He comes back across and cuts him off. Legacy on the back foot. Spec One down into 4th place. Gabbo, he wants to get a part of the action as well. This one is insane. The sportsmanship, the teamwork. There's a proud team of Rockefeller spectators watching on, and they want them to do the best. But Legacy wants to upset that. Oh, this looks a little bit sketchy from them. Oh, Legacy's gone round. That's got out Spec One as well. Spec One caught out in all of that. Magic Man and Legacy, they were under braking. Oh, he's just turned in and he's tagged Spec One. And Spec One slowed down. I don't know if he felt responsible for that at all. Oh, that's a huge shame. Huge shame. So there's Spec One and Legacy now in 5th and 4th. Gabbo up into 2nd, into 3rd rather. And Magic Man, he's got the release. Oh, Little Mac! He's had an issue right at the end of this lap. It's the last corner though, and he'll take the win. Little Mac comes across for 1st place, almost flawlessly. There's Little Mac and Magic Man, Gabbo, and Legacy and Spec One. This one's going to go down to the wire. Deathsight's going to catch them as well. Here comes Gabbo. He's going to take 3rd place, I think. This is Magic Man. Well done on the 2nd place, Magic. It's Gabbo in 3rd. Legacy in 4th. I don't think Spec One's going to get him. There goes Gabbo over the line. Legacy takes 4th. Spec One in 5th. And Death Scythe from BDRT takes 6th place. What happened to Little Mac at the end, though? It was so odd to see him off the corner. Braking. Ah, there it goes. Off into the barricade. Luckily, there's no damage in Gran Turismo, because that would probably would have ripped the car open at those speeds. 7th place, 2 rare. Putty takes 8th. Silvestro there in 9th. It'll be Stag just ahead of 305. Oh, he almost got him at the line. Very close. J-Rod didn't give up. He gets 12th place. Koto takes 13th, 14th for Nataku. And what a race it was. Well done to Little Mac, though. There's your final finishing positions. What an intense race. And it was victory for Little Mac. Flag to flag there. He'll be very happy with that, the way that's worked for him. And now, let's get talking to the top 3, and we'll get 3 or 5. And Gabbo made it 3. Alrighty, well, we're going to be talking to them as soon as they jump in the Discord, and I get in there too. So if you want to hear the guys in the interviews, stick around. But thanks again for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, this is Demo 1 Garage, and we were broadcasting the SFR GT Challenge race, Round 8 Pro Division today at Le Mans. Next event this week is, well, you got the stuff on Wednesday where I get to play, because I don't get to play very often. And then on Friday, we got, no, the Formula 1's finished. It'll be Sunday. Will be Race on Oz. So we got a bit of a quiet week this week. So if you want to if you want to race me on Wednesday, hopefully I'm up early enough for you guys in the States to race me a little bit. Otherwise, keep an eye on the channel and have a great day. We're going to do the interviews. I'm looking for the goddamn interview room. Here we go. Found it. Found the interview room. It's hidden away. Alright. Rocky, very proud of the drivers. Congrats, BDR team. Congrats on all the great racing. Earl McNulty, enjoyed that race. That was great racing. Hopefully enjoy that on the TV. I don't know how big's your TV? 55, 50 inches, something like that. Zero, enjoyed the race. And thanks again to Earl and Alex for chucking in a bit of a donation there. Super chat from Earl. And it was a 250 stars from Alex. Thank you very much, guys, for that support there today. Alrighty. We got all four. But it's first up, it's Little Mac with the win. Well, what a race, man. You finished on the mediums in the end. Did you think that was going to be your undoing at the end, coming into it?
Yes, I did. I thought he was coming for me, and there was nothing I could do about it. Because in the beginning, he was gaining like a second and a half every half lap. No, God.
And then
here he comes. And then he wrecked, I think.
Yep, at Indianapolis.
That's all I needed was to get away.
Yeah, so, yeah, the strategy worked out. What was the difference at the start? What do you think got you the run?
Oh, it's the Mercedes. That's it. It takes off so fast. So that helped me and him get away, and then pulling somebody behind him, if I remember. Yeah,
and then when you overtook him down the long straight, because he backed off to get Magic Man back in the game. Were you worried then too?
No, I wasn't. They couldn't gain enough. I was only losing a second and a half a lap.
Right.
Like 13 or 14 seconds, and they only had 3 laps. So I was okay. I just had to be consistent and smooth, which I didn't do on the last little change. Freaking like, what the hell was that? I don't even know why it went around, but it did. Oh well.
You had 30 seconds. There was no sweat.
Yeah, I was okay. Still, that was my first wreck. The whole thing. It had to happen on the very last part of the track.
That's always how it happens, isn't it?
Yeah. I did it before in the last corner, so I did the same thing.
So that pretty much gets you ahead of Beckwar in the championship too, because you and Beckwar are on equal points.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. I thought he had me, and then after the points came out, I was tied. I was like, dang, okay. But I think his drop rounds would have been more if he finished worse, so I had to beat him by a couple to be able to stay in front of him. If I remember right, I'm not 100% positive.
I think you're good, just looking, but, well, 2 drop rounds. Yeah, looks about right. So you're ahead of him now, but...
yeah.
So
that could change.
2 rounds to go. Yeah, 2 rounds to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means with Spec 1. I haven't done the maths, but Spec came 5th, I think. So, but he's so far ahead at the moment.
If I remember right.
Well, congratulations on the win. It was almost flawless, and yeah, it's a good job to do it at Le Mans. That's a good effort.
Thank you.
And Magic Man, second place. You've probably got a little bit of thanking to do to Spec One, but it was a great team battle there from you guys.
Oh, it was great. I have to. That second place win was definitely his. He slowed up. That's the way teamwork goes, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. We just didn't have enough razzle dazzle to catch Little Mac.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the buddy system I was calling it. I was going to say, surely you've heard that word before in the military. I don't know if they use that in the US, but some bloody thing they always used to say in the Australian military anyway. Everyone knows what the buddy system is over here. But that's what you guys were showing off, was the team working together.
Yeah, our pitch strategy didn't go as well as we planned. We got held up a little bit, but we tried to make the best of what we had, and just unfortunately, Little Mac already had too much of a lead on us, and we just couldn't close it. So, congrats to him on the win.
It was a good win. Yeah, at the end, you obviously saw Spec One drop off, help you out, and then you had Gabbo and Legacy there. That was an intense last lap.
Yeah, it made the heart race just a little bit. I didn't expect him to slow up and help me because they were closing on me fast, and I knew it wasn't going to matter of time, and I was just going to try to stay out front as long as possible. And then he slowed up, and I was like, okay, well, we can try this. And then, unfortunately, just things got in the heat of the moment on the last lap like they do, and we just got tangled up in it. Yeah,
at Indianapolis there, it's just one of those things. But you got away from it, and you took the win for the team in second place. So, I mean, it sort of worked in the end. Wasn't too bad. Cut your losses and take your wins.
That's it. That's all we could do, man. Just move on to the next race.
Well, congratulations on second. It was a lot of hard work there as well. And we'll see what you can do in round 9.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All good. And then it's on to Gabbo from TPRT. Third place, out of nowhere. That last lap incident catapulted you into the podium. But you still had to have a pretty good race up until then. Congratulations.
Thank you. Really, very thrilling race. An amazing last lap. I'm really sorry for the incident, but honestly, I was not expecting to get podium at all. My quality wasn't that great, and I thought I was gonna finish 5th. And because Little Mac just took off, I thought he was like in an LMP2 car or something, and I thought the second and third place were farther away too. And then suddenly we're all like in a train going down Mulsanne, and it was really just amazing.
Yeah, all of a sudden the camera filled up with 4 or 5 cars, and I didn't know what to take of it because Spec One was sort of the rear gunner trying to take on you two, both Gabbo and Legacy, and yeah, it was an interesting battle.
Yeah, it really was. This is my first experience with bomb drafting, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I was slowing down too much, and in that last lap, I was trying to take it easy, and I still got tangled up a bit. But still, it's a real nice race, and I'm sorry for the guys that got caught up in the incident.
It's racing. I'm sure they'll move on. But yeah, bump drafting. It's an odd thing to get used to, isn't it? If you've never done it before.
Yeah. I mean, you're going like 10 miles an hour faster than usual, and it's a kind of a recipe for trouble. But I'm just really glad to take the car home and keep representing TPRT in my second race.
They'll be very happy, and take the win, and we'll see what you can do next time out. So congratulations on third place.
Thank you.
And 305, the Flying Dutchman. You had a really good start, man. Just explain the race start to us, because it was chaotic.
First couple of corners were good, and I could keep pace with Spec. I made some mistakes in the second lap, and that's why the incident happened with Natako. If I didn't make the mistakes before, we wouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You've had all the bad luck so far this season. You just haven't had a break.
Yeah, better luck next season then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to the guys on the broadcast. I was like, it happens to some people. I mean, sort of happened to, I guess, Verstappen last season F1. He kept spinning. Everyone kept calling him Spin Stappen or whatever. But then the form comes back, so hopefully something similar can happen for you.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad race after the incident. It's just driving your race. You don't have any draft, so it's hard to catch up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you had no draft. What's the gap you need? Is it 1.5 seconds still for the slipstream?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, you were
1.5, 1.8.
Yeah, you were something like 2 seconds. You got very close in the last few laps, but early on it was 2.8 seconds, and yeah, you were using a lot of fuel.
Correct, and I needed to let the pack go, otherwise I had an unsafe re-entry, so that took some time also.
That's true. Well, I mean, better luck next time. It's a shame you weren't able to convert today's good performance, but there's always next race.
Indeed.
Well, thanks for talking to us, guys, and enjoy the rest of your Sundays or Monday morning, wherever you are, and we'll see you next week. All right, well, that ends everything. And the buddy system, well, basically it just means you pair up. It's probably exactly like what you use in the in diving, but it's just what they say. They used to say all the time in the militaries, like the buddy system. This is a joke because you always had to have a friend with you or someone to check that you're doing something right. I guess in diving, make sure you're not going to kill yourself. But that's what Spec 1 and Magic Man were doing, showing off the buddy system in all its glory, and it almost worked out for him today. But it wasn't until the end. Next week's Bathurst. That's going to be interesting. Take it on the mountain here in Australia, in Newcastle, Australia. No, Bathurst is in Bathurst, you idiot. I think it's near Newcastle, but it's in the state of New South Wales. Can't wait to see how the Elite Division take that on next week on Monday at 11 a.m. or 9 p.m. on Sunday for you guys in the States. But we'll catch everybody next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we'll probably catch you Wednesday, mucking around on the PC. We'll see you then.